So this hangout is live, and if you're watching, I'm greeting you from Southern California, but I believe we've got people who are checking in from all around the world. Indeed, we have a co-host in the show today, and it is for now it's not Molly, but it's We Wake Bayandur Rao. And We Wake, go ahead and say hi and tell everybody how's the weather in your neighborhood where you live.
Namaste. Um, yeah, weather is not bad. It's sunny, but it's very cold. It's a bit strange combination.
Yeah,
Sunny but very cold. I don't
I'm
know
in
how, but anyway,
I'm in Southern
I'm in the
California.
UK.
Yeah, other side of our world practically. Um, I am, of course, in Southern California, and it's pretty much like a spring or almost a summer day, and it's nice and sunshine, blue skies, and everything. I'm very fortunate to have this. Of course, I don't go out very much anyway, so anyway, so we were saying welcome to Saturday morning marketing smarties to the people out there, and today we have dedicated to Molly Youngblood Geiger. But Molly's having some technical difficulties, maybe the weather in Florida or something. But she's trying hard to get back in, and will be here momentarily with us, no doubt. So we're saying hi to Kathy Pop and Gary Whalen and Tai Takaoka, Carlos Savio, Michael Thomas is out there. Let's see who else. Lowell Ann Fulsang. Did I say Carlo?
Yeah, I think you did.
So that's some of the many who are out
Novelan,
there.
Kathy Pop, and Gary Whelan.
Yeah. So I see you got comment tracker working. You know, um, I every time I talk about this, Karen, who is our other co-host, often says, "Now, you're gonna jinx yourself, and it's gonna go haywire, and it's not gonna work." And but I will say that the gremlins have left us alone for a while, and I have had almost no problems with Google Hangouts for most of a month or almost 2 months. So after the first of the year, most of the problems that we used to have basically gone away. So, and by the way, I'm sorry I didn't white box you during that thing. But anyway, it's a Saturday morning marketing smarties. Welcome, and I hope you're enjoying the babble going on right now because our guest of honor for the day is struggling to come back in. Had to do a restart of her computer, and Google is trying to. Now that we've dedicated an entire show to Molly, um, the Google gremlins said, "Yeah, now we've got to go right to the quick here and disable it from the source and keep Molly from being on her own on her own show." So if we ignore that problem, we'll probably cease to reinforce it for our own manifestation. So one of the things I'm going to do is, uh, oh, Molly's here, yeah. But yeah, I do have to finish one thing before we go on, Molly, and we'll go a little bit overtime afterwards, and we'll catch up with the 10 minutes that we lost. But yesterday I produced this show, this event, and I was busy trying to get ready for a spaghetti dinner. And Kathy Pop caught me in the middle of that and said, "Hey, where are you? Your show's supposed to start." And I go, "Oh no, it's not true. I just forgot to change the exact date and the time." That, as I've done in the past in multiplicity, but every month or two, I start an event thing, and I'm in such a hurry to type everything out. I'm focusing on the content of the details that I forget to adjust the time. So I did that last night, and everyone was looking for me at 7 o'clock p.m. PST. And of course, I was going on for my spaghetti dinner. And she said, "Well, it's all right. We'll let you go. But as long as you share your spaghetti dinner." So I will have to admit, this is not my spaghetti dinner that I'm going to share with you, but it's exactly like what I ate, except for one small thing. So I ate a plate that looked just like this, only one thing. The one thing is there was absolutely no parsley on my plate. I don't know why it is, but I have absolutely no use for parsley in my diet. And I know it's like, oh, it's for good breath and stuff. Well, I'm not going to get that close to anybody anyway. And my wife maybe, but she's eating the same thing that I am, so that doesn't matter if we have a spaghetti kiss or whatever. So anyway, that's to catch up on the closest that I have to share my spaghetti with you. And thank you, Kathy Pop. By the way, our guest of honor has arrived, so we're going to say hi to her. And Molly, you don't have to do really an intro because, quite honestly, everybody knows who you are. And more people than we imagine know who you are. And your credentials precede you in a way, but it's amazing what your credentials are. So let's just give us a hi and join us in the green room here with the discussion here. Say hi.
Hey everyone, how you doing today? It's Molly. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. The name of my agency is Design Right For You, and I'm really excited about our hangout today.
Yeah, we're just going to have some fun because I posted everything that I know and can acknowledge about you in the details. And obviously, you've been prolific in the Google arena and online. But I want to ask one thing before we go on. It's like all these things in Google. Do you have any actual? And I don't want to get into a big discussion about it, but do you have any credentials at all regarding Facebook?
Well, I mean, in terms of Facebook, I market myself on Facebook for myself personally and my agency, but in terms of participating with them, they're not really a search engine like Google is, so they don't necessarily have the same platforms. They're just a social network. So there's not really as many opportunities with Facebook. Now, I have done some beta testing before on some features that they've offered because I'm a developer. But aside from that, that's really all I've done is marketing and beta testing.
In other words, Facebook, for your purposes, is pretty much a waste of time. Well, that's a very, very biased thing for me to say. But I would reinforce, and one thing is like, for your outreach and for what you're doing, Google has way, way more to offer.
Way more to offer in terms of participation with them, and participation with the help forums and the partners program. That's really how I came into play with Google because prior to me, I received an invitation back in 2012 to participate with at the time it was the Google it was the Google Engage program. I really just used Google as a search engine like everyone else. I mean, I'm out there searching for things that are relevant to my business and looking for leads. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm out there looking for business. I use social media, search engine optimization, and online reputation management to kind of build my business and my brand. And I use Google, I mean, primarily to do that.
Cool. Now I'm getting some consultations from the outside. Be careful not to jinx yourself, Roland, and the Google gremlins and stuff. And I'm sure that Facebook has some gremlins too, and LinkedIn's probably got some gremlins, and Twitter's probably got some gremlins. I don't care. I'm just not superstitious, and I don't believe in that stuff. And one of the things that I wanted to bring up is that if we believed in luck and fate, you probably wouldn't be here, Molly, talking about what you have to talk about, because pure and simple, you're like the best example that I can think of being the thing and the person that you exemplify as being the successful end result. Basically, you went into the field of Google outreach purely to help people without the concept of trying to monetize and get the ROI and figure out a conversion and design something that's going to trap people into buying your stuff. I mean, and what I just said, I regurgitated a lot of stuff, but this is kind of how I feel about traditional marketing, and you know that I'm not into that, and you know that I really have a healthy disdain for people who focus on that and are not willing to include the human element. But you were just the opposite of this. You took
Well,
a human element and went out there to help people.
right. I remember, I mean, back in 2012, I was an established website design firm, meaning, I mean, I had a regular clientele, but I wanted, better quality clients. So a lot of my work when I first started off were, logo design or maybe a landing page or, maybe build a website, but wasn't really the ongoing kind of work I was looking for. I was looking for some regular clients where they were, paying several $100s a month to know, okay, well, if I have X number of clients and they're paying several $100s a month, well, then I know I'm going to be established as a web design company. And I took a little bit different approach in terms of marketing, and it's going back to what you're saying about Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and Pinterest. I look at it like this. I have to look at where are my customers at. And I may not like Facebook or I may not like Pinterest, which I actually like both of those platforms. But, I have to go to where my customers are at. And if they're on Facebook, well, then I need to market myself to Facebook. If they're on Twitter, I need to market myself to Twitter. If they're on LinkedIn, I need to market myself to people on LinkedIn. And so when I started marketing myself, I took a different approach because I had seen all those YouTube videos where people would pitch, hey, watch my tutorial, or hey, watch my video, and at the very end they tell you, click here to buy now and all this. I'm like, I don't want to really market myself that way. I wanted to market myself to where I built my reputation. And one of the things that I took into account as I started looking at all these, what I call our thought leaders, like Guy Kawasaki, Neil Patel, Joe Barnes, Mari Smith, all these people that they're industry leaders. And I said, how is it these people have built themselves to where they're industry leaders? And I started looking at each of their individual journeys and saying, if these people have built their reputation to where they're known as an industry leader for marketing or for Facebook or for social media or whatever platform we're talking about, I said, why can't I do that? And so I started looking at my marketing, and I said, well, you need to start with telling people who you are and what you do. And that's been my mantra the whole time I've been marketing myself, is just tell people who you are and what you do. And not necessarily put a product or a service out there, but market you as a person. And what I found is through marketing on social media and search engine optimization and so on and so forth, that I have built my online reputation to be a person that if you have a question about SEO or Google Partners or AdWords or social media marketing or all the different things that I offer, probably might be a good idea to ask mine. I have people all the time, they contact me on Hangouts, or they send me an email, or they call me. They're like, hey, I've got a problem. I need help with this. And I think it goes back to, well, where does a business start? And for me, where it all started was optimizing my website for search. When I started my business, I had very limited resources. I didn't have a lot of money. I really had to rely just on what was in here. And so I built my website and I optimized it for search. And that's really where my story began, because when I got that invitation back in 2012 from, at the time, Jennifer Chow, she's the she was the manager at the Googleplex for the Engage program. She found me through search. She did a search, website designer in Jacksonville, Florida, and she sent me an invitation to join the Engage program. And I did. I thought, hey, Google, I do website design, probably a good idea, good idea to get signed up with them. And from that, it kind of fizzled. Nothing really happened for 3 or 4 months, but then I got another invitation. Hey, Google Partners, sign up now. And so I thought, yeah, probably a good idea. So I signed up. And I had a little bit of problem. I'm one of these kind of people that I always tend to find bugs in programming or programs. It just doesn't matter what it is, but I just always seem to be that one person that if there's a weak link, I find it. And of course, I broke partners. It took me like a month and a half to actually get into the community. But once I got in there, I just started looking around, seeing what's going on, and I saw a lot of posts about, digital marketing, AdWords, search engine optimization, website design, landing page optimization, A/B test. I mean, just a variety of different digital topics, which I thought was great because up until then, I felt like I would talk to my family or friends about what it was I did, and I felt like I was talking Greek to them. They were like, "What are you talking about?" I
You were talking Greek to them. It is Greek. Um, yeah, you were in the right environment, but the difference between yourself and other people is other people are hanging out in the same environment, but they're not doing the same thing as you are. And Carlos Savio brings up the exact thing that I'm talking about. I'm going to share his post in the comment stream. We could miss Who could miss to see Molly Youngblood Geiger get hyper enthusiastic over her recent good luck? In this instance, I'm defining good luck as Molly's never-ending hard work and willingness to share so much googly information with others. And that's the whole point, is like, if you have your heart in the right place and you find yourself in the right environment, the authenticity and the genuineness of who you are is going to show through. And the people realize, well, Molly's never pitched at me. Molly's never hit me up for this. She never asked me for anything. She's constantly giving. And so one of the comments that I made earlier, even if I've repeated this, I'm going to repeat it again. Fate and luck are for those who do not believe that they have any influence or power over their own lives. And if that's the case, I'm not here to speak to those people. You can go away now, and that's why this show doesn't have hundreds of people watching. It's like I've got this attitude. It's like, you got to give first, and that's what we base the premise on. And you are an exemplary vision of this whole premise of giving first. And so, Carlo, thank you very much for your comment, and I appreciate that totally. We've been rolling right over you. I want to give you a chance to say whatever too. You are also a rising star with Google, and Molly's been a rising star for a while. I definitely think that that's going to be going somewhere too, because you just keep rising. You keep rising. If I were to go over the things on our list here, most of which I posted in the details of the event, it's kind of amazing. I look at this stuff and it's like, there's no way, has she been doing this for a decade or what? Because there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff, and it's basically evidence that you've been prolific about your outreach and your generation of stuff, but it's all been from the heart and soul of giving, which I defy anybody to tell me differently.
Well, I think. Oh, go ahead, Vivek.
Sorry, I was just going to say that what you get is actually your karma. The situation you are in is actually your karma. It's not just philosophy. It's what you do. You get what you do. So.
I totally
Yes.
agree with that. It's been one of those things that, when I initially set off, it was to find customers. I'm not going to lie, but I found by helping people out that it creates this positivity, meaning I'm able to go out and share knowledge that I have about a variety of different digital topics, but at the same time it creates this connection. And not necessarily a sales connection, but just a connection in general with people, that they can learn about who it is or who I am and what I do. And when they learn about me, when they learn my personality and they learn my willingness to help other people, when they see a need for, hey, my friend needs a website or my friend needs help with SEO, they're going to go, oh, you need to contact Molly. She can help you with this. She knows about this type of thing. And that is what I refer to as referral marketing, meaning it's not a direct sale. It's not a direct pitch, if you will, but it's about building your online reputation or your reputation in general, where when people see a need for something you do, they're going to probably recommend you.
So WeWake is bringing this up, so I wanted to feature this. Kathy Pop says, telling people what you do in terms of what you can do for them really works well. And that's the whole focus of the whole thing, right? We want to educate people as to what we do. but then make it very vivid. Here's how I can help you. And a lot of times offer whatever you can in opinion and in advice. Go ahead and offer it, not say, I've got a really good plan for you, but we should get together so I can trap you into entice you into my lair, said the spider to the fly, and get you into the circle where you feel like, well, I guess I got to buy this thing. Out of the pressure of being in the environmental, the issues at hand, instead of the person listening to what you offer and understanding you, first of all, to trust you, down to the basics of the know, like, and trust factors. We're going to have a whole show on this again this year. But I mean, then once you do that, it's like the people want to engage with you. They want your service. They want to pay you money to help them out. And that's what this style of marketing is all about.
Absolutely. And I think to add to that, it's really just about getting out there and trying. Like I said, when I first started out, I didn't have a huge budget. All I had was information and knowledge. And I figured, if I could take what I have, which is information and knowledge, and in turn build my reputation to where people know, hey, Molly knows about this stuff, or Molly can help if I have a unique question or unique situation. I think when you're able to help people understand about the products or services you offer, that you're there for them, you're there if they have a question or they have a concern, that they're going to remember that. They're going to remember that connection, and that's going to set you apart from your competition. Because one of the things I learned a long, long time ago, when I first graduated from college, I had a job at a call center, and we were constantly getting moved around from team to team, and I'm thinking, why do these companies pay us to sit here and answer phone calls? And it finally dawned upon me one day, customer service. They want their customers to have an avenue to contact a real person if they have a valid concern about either a promotion or product or...
Oh, we had a little freeze going on there with Molly. So let's give her a break from that for just a moment. And there are a couple of comments in the stream. Hang on, Molly. There she is. She's back. Okay, you wanted to follow up on what you had to say there?
Yeah, I was just I was explaining how one of my first jobs after I graduated from college was at a call center, and we were constantly getting moved around. And I thought one day, well, why do these companies pay us? And it's for customer service. And I took that takeaway and I've applied it to every part of my life in terms of even just interacting with people in general or my customers, that if you provide good customer service, people are going to remember you for that.
Yeah, very good. I wish I could share this comment. I'm going to say it before it gets lost here. It's like comment tracker and the comment stream are not working together. People are just like really going off in the comment stream right now. But Kathy Pop says, maybe we'll feature this later, Roland, giving is a new trend in marketing. The messages are getting softer. Marketers are not seeing others as competition, but allies to team up with. It's slow, but it's a growing movement. And that exemplifies pretty much exactly how I feel about the present day market, and that we're speaking a language that few people want to speak because they're so used to doing the push marketing and the outbound marketing. And this program is dedicated to inbound marketing and engagement marketing, which is what we've been talking about here. Learning how to engage with people and build the relationship that leads to them wanting to promote you. Even if they don't need your services themselves, they're going to tell others because they like you and they trust you and they really want to help. So that's what the engagement and relationship marketing is all about. So thank you, Kathy. But we wake also Lowell Ann Folsang has made this comment. She says, yes, we wake, it is karma. What you give comes back, but not necessarily from the same source. She makes a really good point there that, what we want to do when we're talking about this type of subject, what goes around comes around, or, karma and stuff. I have a little even different view of karma than most people. And it very much emulates what Lowell Ann just said. it does not necessarily come back from the same source as you expect. And that's part of the advertising outbound marketers frame of reference coming through, because when you do something and then you expect a return, it's no longer giving, and it's no longer the essence of giving, because you're doing it to compensate or exchange something for something. You're not doing it from the heart and helping people and get ahead. You're doing it because you want payback, and that's the absolute wrong spirit. Now, there's a big secret, perhaps, to figuring out how do you give and never get back. How do you get a return on investment? And
Roland, the days of return on investment are over.
I
Now the
agree
days are
totally.
of return on engagement.
That's exactly right. Um, and yet it still doesn't. People want to draw a line in that the engagement concept to the money in their pockets. They want to draw a direct line to it and say, "How do I get that?" But I mean, basically, we can come back to Molly's story and say, we'll show you how to do that, because she built the reputation and the profile online and the whole branding concept. You didn't design right for you, Molly. You branded Molly Youngblood Geiger. You branded Molly. That's what you branded. And so people remember you, and then they may not remember the name of your business, but they say, "Oh yeah, Molly builds websites. Oh yeah, Molly does AdWords. Oh yeah, Molly does SEO." They'll remember those things
Exactly.
because they remember you. So your brand is your name, and that's your
It's
brand.
funny you mentioned that, because I remember, when I first set out, I did try to market my agency, and I found that I got a better response by marketing myself as a person than I did marketing my agency. And I think the reason for that is because when you look at a business, you're like, oh no, they're trying to come after me after a sale, versus marketing yourself as a person, because then they go, oh, well then that's just Molly. She's ready to talk about something about digital marketing. And I found that the approach worked for me because of the fact that I was able to build my name in terms of what it was that I did, and I was out there helping people. And that was one of the things I really learned about participating in the Google Partners community. That was one of the things I loved about it, is it was such a proactive community where people could pose a legitimate issue, problem, question, whatever, and there were people out there willing to stop what they were doing and help with that question or problem or solution. And to me, that was golden, because when you do technical things like I do.
We had another freeze, and there's a little bit of a freeze, Molly. So you're not back yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I
Sorry,
think I froze for a second. I'm sorry, my
no
network's
problem.
acting weird today.
No problem. And I have to clear my throat right now, so you guys are going to have to manage for a minute.
Sure, no problem. So what I was talking about was in terms of helping people. I just started going out there and helping people with their questions in the Google Partners community, and what I found from that was, there was a lot of positivity that was happening, and from the positivity, I was actually awarded a Google Partner Spotlight, and it's a spotlight where they see somebody really going above and beyond answering questions or helping out. They do this write-up, and I got to send in a picture, and Google actually sent me a cake. So I got a cake from Google with the Google logo on it, and I was like,
That
holy smokes.
that's why you're doing this. You want another cake. That's your payback.
I was shocked. I've gotten so much stuff from Google. I mean, it is like, I don't know. I'm actually expecting another package today. I just recently signed up for the Get Your Business Online initiative, where I'm a certified partner with that group, and I'm still pretty new to it, but it's a really neat initiative for small businesses where if you're just starting out on Google, you can sign up for it. It's totally free. It helps you get registered for Google My Business, which in terms is going to help your online reputation for Google Plus and Google Maps. And it's a good starting point for a small business to check out the Get Your Business Online. In fact, they're preparing for the Google Small Business Week, which is going to be happening the first week of May. So stay tuned to details about that. They're going to be doing a series of different hangouts. There will be a hangout live cast from the Googleplex for the Google Partners Connect, which is going to be May the 9th. It's going to start at 12 noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time. They're going to feature Frederick Belays, who is an AdWords expert, and they will have other topics that they talk about. So stay tuned for those details. I'm hosting another one. I've pretty much every Google Partners Connect event they've had, I've hosted. I love them. I always learn something new. They have a bunch of really neat statistics. And that's been one of my focus also is they tend to focus more on mobile. And I look at what they're sharing information about mobile. I've done a lot of research on it, and I know a lot of people, they tend to shy away from talking about mobile because they think, it's just another digital strategy. But I really think in terms of a small business, they really need to pay attention to what's going on with mobile usage, mobile search, mobile optimization, using apps for mobile devices, because as I grow and I learn from what the Googlers are teaching, I've watched a hangout about mobile optimization. The VP of search actually shared a quote, and his quote was that a mobile device is like the remote to your life. And I really thought about that, and I thought, yeah, I'm using mobile a variety of different ways. I don't just talk to people on my mobile phone. I use apps. I use Google Sheets, Google Docs, Gmail. I actually work from my mobile device. So I think it's also a great way to market to people. And I've put this question out there. What do you think about text marketing? Meaning, instead of sending people an email, you send out a short message system or SMS message, like using a platform like Hangouts. Again, there's another app that you can use on your mobile device to help your business. But what do you think about using that to market to people? And some people, they go, well, I'd be open to getting a text if it's a brand that I'm familiar with that I want to learn information about. And then I've had other people say, well, I don't know, I'm not really keen on getting a text message about maybe a promotion or advertisement. So I think it's just up to the business owner on what's right for your business. But I would definitely recommend, if you're a small business, looking into mobile as a strategy for your business.
Absolutely. I mean, the entire world is going mobile. But it's like mobile first, but not only. Remember that the field of what's going on in internet marketing is wider than just mobile. And so always keep that in mind, what's going on and what your auxiliary efforts surrounding your mobile outreach have to be. So there's more involved than just being mobile. Let's see what WeWake is showing here. Hang on. Kathy Pop makes a comment. People use their phones more than their computers now, and I think that will only get bigger. I would agree to that. And as we just stipulated, mobile first, but not only. So we expect that to span out. But then it'll become evidential after another year or two exactly where the people will not let go of their computers. And that'll be an interesting statistic to discover. Because the bottom line is I cannot do everything that I want to on a mobile phone. I mean, for some people they can, but I cannot. So for me, I would be out of the water without my computer.
I think where the disconnect for me with mobile, and I just discovered this probably about 6 months ago, was actually interacting with my device. It's different to type on a keyboard than it is to type individual letters on a mobile device. And I know Google's working on a couple different platforms. There's Project Solly, which is a platform where it's a handheld device that will actually use radio waves that you'll be able to interact with your phone. And there's another program that they're working on. I can't disclose any details, but I think as a business owner in going with your online reputation, it's about using the different tools that are available to you, like social media marketing, search engine optimization, mobile optimization. not so much a big fan of email marketing, and I'll tell you why. I tried email marketing for a while, and I didn't really see any results from it, and I kind of felt like I was spamming people, even though it wasn't, regular message. I just thought, well, I'm just going to put it out there online, and if they're interested in the content, great. They can find me on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or any of those platforms. And that was actually one of the things why I was interested, because I participate in Google Partners, and they're mainly AdWords focused, but there's other tools out there like Hangouts that are great resources for business. And why I started hanging out in the Hangouts help forum, because I have a lot of experience with Hangouts. And funny story, when I first started doing Hangouts, I was camera shy. I hated my voice. I didn't like video. I really didn't like it at all. But when I became an ambassador in the Google Partners community, and so going back to my story, like 2-3 months after I became a spotlighted partner, I got an email from Jennifer saying, "Hey, we really like your advice you're sharing. You're getting out there. We'd like to introduce you to our Google Partners Ambassador Program." And that's a program offered by the Partners community where, if you're an individual out there helping people and really, trying to make a great effort to share your product knowledge and expertise, they will promote you to a Google Ambassador, and it was really cool. I got a video kit from Google and, a variety of different swag. And one of my things is I had to sign this agreement that I would host a Hangout every quarter. Okay, I have no experience hosting Hangouts. And so I literally had this Google video bag on my desk. I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't know how to do this. And so I went and I Googled it. I went to Google. I go, how do you host a Hangout? And so I'm doing some research, and I land upon this webpage for Forbes.com called The Ultimate Guide to Hosting a Google Hangout on Air. And so I started interacting with the host, and we kind of hit it off, and she goes, would you like to be a co-host on the very first Google Hangout on Air on Forbes.com? Okay, I have no experience. But I'm like, what an awesome opportunity to be a co-host on Forbes.com. And so I'm like, yes, I'll do it. And so, like, one of the very first Hangouts I was ever on was on Forbes.com, no pressure or anything. And so it went actually really well. I had a couple of my clients hop on the Hangout. But I guess the reason I did it is because I wasn't actually running the Hangout. She was running it. I was more just like a guest, kind of like I'm here today. But, I found through being on Hangout shows like yourself, or I've hosted several Hangouts, and usually mine are more tech related about AdWords or spend or what do you charge, things like that. I found that it has opened up this whole new avenue to meet people, to engage with people, to market myself as a person who this is my area of expertise. And so it's kind of like what you've done with your show, Roland. I've been a co-host on your show for over a year now. And we have such a great audience that they tune in and they watch us in Replay City. And I think when you're able to establish yourself as an authority where you have a following that they want to learn content about yourself, that's another strategy that a business can use to market their business. So,
absolutely. We were not just 3 people in the green room. When we get here every week, well, first of all, I've been known to invite people out of the audience into the green room, so you gotta look out for Roland. But I mean, we're not 3 people. We're 20 people having a group conversation, and it's no doubt is problematic. I can't include every comment, and indeed, okay, I love you guys, but not every comment is worth sharing in the Hangout. But we do have a couple that are worth sharing. So I would want to show these right now. That Michael Thomas says, personal connections are priceless, Molly Youngblood Geiger. Cheers. And another one from Kathy Pop, conscious marketing is a growing niche. And the funny thing about that statement is I absolutely agree, it's a growing niche, and people are getting more and more into it. But God damn it, excuse my French, okay? It should have been at the root of all marketing in the very first place. We should have conscious marketing all the time with everything that we do. And we should be real people doing conscious marketing, not just people, let's see, your job is to market to this business, so you better get the sales up and you get the exposure and get the people talking about us, and they don't talk about, well, who they are and who they know and the relationships they're building, what kind of a product it is, how they're going to support the product, how they're going to support the customer, and all these critical things that are pertaining to the relationship you have, whether they buy your freaking product or not. You know, and those are
Absolutely.
the important things. So let me see what else WeWake is sharing here. Hang on. Yeah. Michael Thomas says, quality interactions and presence breed great karma. And he mentions this, you know. And
I have a
Geiger points out interest, awareness, and status.
absolutely. I have a story to share, and it's one of those kind of stories that, I mean, never in a million years would I have thought this would have ever happened to me. So last December, so December 2015, I get approached by the software provider. I have software providers contact me all the time wanting me to test their product or beta test, and you know, it was a guy, he was trying to sell me some information about online reputation management software. I'm thinking, yeah, you know, I've heard this before. I'm familiar with Yext and, you know, other softwares that you know, manage, well, at least business listings. But he's on me for about a month, and finally I'm like, sure, okay, we'll go ahead and meet. We met at a local restaurant, and he's going through his presentation. And at the end of the presentation, he goes, you know, what do you think? And I said, well, you know, one of the things I really like about the software is the fact that it has something called a Twitter tracker, where it will actually go out to Twitter and look for keywords and pull these leads into your email. And I thought, well, you know, that's different. I really like that. You know, everything else you talked about in terms of business listing directories, data centers, you know, reviews management, I'm familiar with all that, but I really like this one feature. And he goes, well, let me ask you something. He goes, do you know how we found out about you? I said, well, yeah, you contacted me on Facebook. He goes, well, yeah, we contacted you on Facebook, but he goes, do you know how we really found out about you? I said, no. He goes, well, he goes, our chief strategist, who actually is the developer of the software, he's a Google Premier agency. And so he has a rep at Google that he goes once a year he meets with. And he goes, he was out there in November, so this is like, you know, about a month earlier. And he goes, yeah, I went and met with his rep, and they did their thing. And he goes, at the very end of the meeting, he goes, yeah, I'm super excited. I'm opening up my brick-and-mortar location in Jacksonville, Florida. And this Googler, I still don't know who this person is. He goes, oh, Jacksonville, Florida, you need to talk to this lady. You need to talk to Molly Emble Geiger, because we know about her, and she's out there, and she's all the time, you know, doing posts on Google Plus about what it is you're trying to sell in terms of your software. And I was floored. I was like, so you're telling me that somebody at Google recommended me? He goes, yes. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? He's like, no, we're not kidding you. And he goes, the funny thing is we started looking at you, we started looking at your profile and your posts and, you know, how you look across social media. And he's like, you exemplify exactly what it is we're trying to teach businesses about managing your online reputation. And so I still am floored by this story. I have several, I guess, contacts at Google. I have contacts that work at Google, but they don't work at the Mountain View office. I know people in the New York office, the Detroit office, and there's some Googlers here in Florida. And I mean, honest to goodness, I mean, I have like been introduced to a lot of top contributors, a lot of rising stars, and I feel just so lucky that, you know, I've been able to take what little I had and build my online reputation to where, I mean, people are acknowledging, hey, this lady is really going not the 12th, 13th, or 14th, or 15th mile, but really hearing it out there that, you know, I'm about trying to help businesses succeed online. And it's when you can take a strategy like that and apply it to your business, and you may not be a website designer, you may sell toys, you may sell real estate services, or you may sell, you know, some other type of product or service, but when you can take that same strategy and apply it to your business and really genuinely want to help people, you know, do a hangout about a certain subject that's going to help somebody. Like, you know, if you're a real estate broker, you know, maybe do a hangout about mortgage financing that maybe people aren't aware of. You know, when you can take certain subjects and help people and get known as not only being a service provider, but being somebody who wants to help the general public succeed, you're going to get known for that. And when you get known for that, the leads will constantly come in.
There you go. I mean, you basically explained exactly why I started this show. So I've said this repeatedly before, um, and I won't go over the philosophies of Internet Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties, but that's exactly it. If you, it's kind of like the shortcut of if you build it, they will come. But you got to really watch what you're building. If you're building the relationship, they will come. If you're building a sales pitch, they won't. And when the pitch goes up, the sales go down, and that's one of the principles that we adhere to here in the Smarties. And you've got a lot of things going on, Molly, but the one thing that you are is an exemplary. You are the prime example of what we try to represent when we talk about building a reputation online, branding your name, and building up the concept of helping others and giving first. So you're really, we hold you up as a good prime example in what we're trying to achieve with the show.
Well, and something I'd add that we just pointed out, last Monday, so just under a week ago, the Google's business community announced their 2016 advisors. And these advisors were selected based on their product knowledge and expertise, not necessarily about Google products. Like there's one gentleman, he is representative of the Better Business Bureau. We've got a LinkedIn expert. So we've got a different variety of people. We've got AdWords people, SEO people. So they really took the time to handpick a group of people that has a wide skill set. And they're picked based on their expertise and their willingness to help small business owners in the Google small business community. Great place to visit, by the way, if you haven't popped over there. But this is actually the second year that I've been a business advisor, and I love that community because it is an opportunity for me to post about a variety of different digital subjects that's going to help.
Another freeze momentarily. This Google Small Business Advisor's second year in a row was one of the things I was going to ask you about, so I'm glad you're covering that.
Yeah, and so I was floored. Monday they make the announcement. I'm like, oh, cool, I made it again. And what I really liked is they shared my social profiles this time. So, like, when you go to the official Google document, not only do you see my little write-up and my picture, but they have my Facebook link, my Twitter link, and my website, which I thought was killer. And I was like, wow, that's really neat that they would take the time to, research that. But here's something that happened to me later that day. Sorry, I don't know why.
Another brief freeze there. We'll have to catch up from.
All we
heard was I don't know why.
One thing that happened to me after I found out about the announcement, and this I just totally sideswiped me. Wasn't expecting it. So it's like 11 o'clock. Everybody's asleep. That's usually when I work, is when everybody's in bed. And I check my Gmail, and I get this email from this group called Expertise. I'm like, what is this? Never heard of them before. And so I opened the email up, and it says something like, congratulations, you were selected. And I was like, what was I selected for? And so I clicked the link, and it goes to this post on their website. It's something about website designers, Jacksonville, Florida. And so I'm reading it. It goes, we looked at 180 web designers in Jacksonville, Florida. I don't know why I keep freezing, guys.
Sorry, you're okay right now. Oh, spoke too soon.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry. Okay. So I started reading the article. It says we looked at 180 website designers, and then we narrowed it down to 70, and then we chose the top 24. And I'm looking at the list, and there I am. I'm number 6 on the list, and I literally stood up. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And I mean, like, as if the business advisor thing wasn't enough. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, for like 10 minutes, I'm like, do you know what this means? Because the web design business in Jacksonville is fierce. I mean, it's very, very competitive. And what was really cool is I've been working on this real estate broker, like trying to gain her as a client for the last couple of months. And I shared that link with she hired a social media manager. I shared that link with her. Next day, they signed the contract. And I was like, I mean, that is just, you cannot buy advertising like that when a totally unbiased firm looks at your profession and they go, oh, and funny enough, they checked several different things. They checked, expertise, online reputation, number of years in business, customer service. It's a variety of different things that they picked.
Oops, we had a freeze again. Not a problem. The segue there.
And I
Go
just
ahead,
felt
Golly.
very lucky that they thought enough of my agency to include me in that, because I actually posted that over to the Google advertiser community. One of my fellow partners, he's in Panama City, posted it for me, and he's like, yeah, that's awesome. He's like, I'm going to check into this to see if they do this for my city. So it's very neat.
Well, so you were named top 24 websites. You actually were ranked number 6.
Yeah, number 6.
That's 300% better than top 24. I mean, as far as I'm concerned. And so I'm glad we covered that. There's all these awards and all these attributions that we can say belong to you now because of the things that you've done. And I wouldn't say people want to try to copy you and emulate everything that you've achieved, because it's not going to work. But in your own field of expertise, whatever it is, if you're listening in the audience right now, in your own field of expertise, there are going to be the opportunities that are specific toward you and your business and what you do, and your personality and your attitude. And you need to look around at the environment and figure out where you can apply the principles that Molly has. In other words, the give first concept, helping others, and really provide that service and that value in that community or in that environment. And you will find whatever their award is for the region of your outreach, they will give it to you, and that's what you'll be known for. You don't have to be a Google lady. I mean, it works for Molly, but in your own environment, there's something that makes you a pseudo Google person, or the referral that makes sense in your industry, and that's what you want to do. And that will be available to you if you just concentrate on being in your community where your people are, where the people that are interested in your subject or your product, and you do what you do to help people. Then you'll get well known in the industry. So let me ask you, like, do you want to be the person that refer you because you've got a special on your deal this week, or do you want to be the person that people refer because they know, like, and trust you, and they wouldn't recommend anybody else? So you decide what you decide what you want people to know about you and refer about you. And if it's the special on Sunday, you're barking up the wrong tree. You're barking up the wrong tree.
There's a saying that goes, do what you love to do and you'll never work a day in your life. And that is what I've applied towards my business. I provide website design and digital marketing services, but you may not. You may have a totally different industry or product or service. But if you can apply that strategy, do what you love to do, get out there, tell people who you are, what you do, help answer questions, offer information to people that maybe they're not aware of, that's a good starting point, because when you do this on a regular and consistent basis, then eventually you will build an audience. And when you build an audience, you'll build a reputation. And when you build a reputation, you'll find that your audience, when they have a need for your product or service, they will come back to you because they will understand that you are a thought leader, an industry leader on that particular product or service that you offer.
When they have a need. And, it's like the zero moment of truth, when people decide to buy. Well, they have to be on the market first. You cannot have a zero moment of truth if they're not on the market. But when they're on the market, then there is a potential zero moment of truth. But your outreach, what you do as a profession that makes you money, is not part of the conversation before the need is there. And so you basically have to expose yourself to the elements and show people, well, this is what I do, and this is how I can help people. This is how I can help you, and thank you very much for allowing me the privilege to help you. And when the people go, wow, this person really helped me, but here's what I need to do, and this is worth money to me, where am I going to spend money? I'm going to spend it where I trust the people and know that their expertise applies to my needs. And that's the connection that you want to make. Quit advertising, people. Quit freaking advertising. Promote yourself and develop a community so that people understand and are educated as to what you offer, and most importantly, make sure your attitude is set right in the first place. Now, our hour is getting past us, and I want to let you wrap us up as far as any last message that you and also WeWake have to say. But I wanted to ask you one thing before we go, and we're going to maybe go over about 10 minutes or so from now. But with all your certifications, Google badged Partners badged agency, and Google Partners community advisor and ambassador, and all these things, the one thing that I know, I can assume, but I don't know much about, is Google Mobile Certified. Now, what does this mean, and how did you get that?
Sure. So in the Google Partners community, they have the Google Partners program. And what they try to do is they try to get agencies to get educated on certain digital subjects like AdWords fundamentals, search, display, Google AdWords mobile, and Google AdWords video, and Google AdWords shopping platforms. So each one of these different subjects, they have a series of questions. Usually it ranges between 65 and 100 questions per test. And so they have these tests set aside. And when you take the test, you have to, in order to become a badged agency, there's several factors. You have to have a certain amount of ad spend. You have to follow Google Partners best practices, and you have to pass a minimum of 2 tests. One has to be the AdWords fundamentals test, and then you can select a different test of your choice. Now, I happen to select the mobile certification just because I'm a big fan of mobile marketing. And so what I did is I studied for the test via several different resources that the partners offer and on their YouTube channel. They have a lot of different hangouts that pertain to the different tests that they have. And so then I logged in under my partner's account, took the test, I got the 80% or above, and then I received a certificate. And the certificate is good for 1 year. You have to retake the exams every year. But what it means to be Google AdWords Mobile Certified is that I passed the test, and I have a lot of information on how to optimize an AdWords campaign for mobile devices.
Very good. Sounds good. Before we wrap it up, and we got a few more minutes, I don't know if WeWake, you've been monitoring our flow of comments out there and some other stuff, but I wanted to give you a chance to speak, because you are indeed a Google Rising Star yourself. So I know that you have an idea of how much effort it takes to be a rising star, and I can't comparatively imagine what it will take to get all the other attributions that Molly has achieved. But I marvel at all these things. Was there any last thing or comments that you had to make, WeWake, that you wanted to contribute to this this show today?
Well, yeah. What I can say is, this Google Rising Star is, I think there are only less than 100 of Rising Stars out of the whole population of the Earth.
Worldwide, right? Or universally, there are only 100 or so. That's a remarkable thing, to be a rising star worldwide with only 100 of them in existence.
And Molly has been a rising star since a long time. It's a you be and she's a rising star for so many things, not just one. So.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah, just to quickly embellish upon that. So with my participation with the Google Partners platform, they moderators and my community manager made this announcement. They're like, we're going to make you rising stars for AdWords. And I was like, what's a rising star? I didn't even know what a rising star was. And so I did some research, and what it is Google has a program called the Top Contributor Program. And what this program is it rewards individuals who have a lot of product knowledge. So there's rising stars for pretty much top contributors for every product. Now, to become a Rising Star, it's not something you sign up for. It's now you can show interest in the Top Contributor Program by going to their website and filling out the form saying, hey, I'm interested in the program. But you have to be actually nominated by a Googler to participate on this platform. And so once you become a Rising Star, it's a lot of work. It's not something you sign up and a couple months later you're a top contributor. In fact, I think William Rock, who is a top contributor, he told me it takes like 2 or 3 years, so you have to be out there for quite a length of time, helping people, sharing product knowledge, assisting people. And then even if you become a Rising Star, it's not a guarantee that you'll become a top contributor, but essentially if you become a top contributor, it's a huge plus for an individual, because basically it means Google has given you that delegation because you have consistently shown concise product knowledge and shared information and helped people. And when you become a top contributor, it's really awesome because they don't have the TC Summit every year. This year it's just what they call our meetups, but they invite the Rising Stars and top contributors to come to the Googleplex or a location near them, and it's a really neat thing because they pay for everything. They pay for your flight, they pay for your food, they pay for your accommodations. And in my particular case, since I'm in the United States and I speak English, the closest location they're having one of these meetups is at the Mountain View office. And I was notified about a month ago via the Hangouts forum where I'm a Rising Star that, oh, by the way, we're doing these meetups, and as we learn more details, we'll share them. But the meetup is scheduled for late September, and I'm super excited because I've actually been invited out there for the last 2 years, and I have not gone like an idiot. But I'm going this time.
Yay! That's great. And thank you for clearing up the mobile certified and so forth. There is one attribution that you have not mentioned that is of most importance, and that is you are the longest standing weekly co-host on Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties. So I appreciate the fact that you've been here that long, and I will take that as a certification for me and my show that you hang out with us, and I'm really glad that you feel comfortable here and feel that it benefits your reputation and so forth. So I thank you for that. And we are very appreciative of not only what you contribute, but the example that you set so that people can follow your example and do a few things right. If anyone's going to copy anybody, copy Molly. I mean, that's the bottom line. In some way, not necessarily doing what she does in Google, but the attitude and the concept and the spiritual movement of what's going on in her life, make that part of your journey too. Let's see what Weewick is sharing, because he shared some great stuff during the course of things here. Michael Thomas says, either develop a quality and a comprehensive community, or play a part of one. And I agree totally. And I had that pinned to my comments, and I was going to display that anyway. But thank you very much for doing that. So, Molly, any little wrap up that you have for people who are watching there, and what is your message to them?
I just would say be genuine and sincere as a business owner. Try and help people understand what it is you do, and not so much as a sales pitch, but just as an information offering, meaning just share information about your products or services. Maybe start a community on Google Plus where you can share information, or even participate on Google Plus and across social media platforms. That's how I started my journey. I started on Facebook. I started a daily post, and then I suddenly realized that, oh, there's all these other platforms, and even though I don't use them, your customers might. So you have to take into account where are your customers at and market yourself across social media. Get your website optimized for search. Make use of all the tools.
And a little last minute freeze there, Molly. Sorry about that. We're accommodating a freeze.
Sorry, I froze again.
All right.
But anyways, I was just saying, make use of what you have, which is your website, your business information, Google Plus, social media. all the free tools like Google My Business, Analytics, just try and use your page size, page speed, insights, mobile-friendly data test tool, Search Console. There's a variety of different tools out there. They're all free. Use them to benefit your business.
A law of attraction master named Mike Dooley says, in general in life, do what you can with what you got from where you are. And that is exemplified by your message today. And if we do that, there's a lot of free stuff to get us on our way. You don't have to have a lot of money, but you have to have the intention, and you have to be willing to spend a little time doing the research. And the engagement marketing is one thing, also education-based marketing, and that's what this show is all about. Glad to have you today, Molly. Thank you very much for being a part of this. And with that, I guess we're going to say goodbye unless anyone wants to jam a few words in there. But we are basically way over time, and we're going to wrap up today. So thank you, people, for watching the show and participating on Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties. Thanks a lot.